Hello techies! Hope you guys are doing well. A very warm welcome to my YouTube channel, High Tech Masterminds. I am Hitesh, your technical buddy in this journey. Here, we are preparing for System Admin job profile. In case if you have missed my previous videos in the playlist, I would encourage you to please do watch them first in order to understand the next. Alright, let's get started. Welcome to Linux, a journey beginners to advance. This is the second video in the series for system admin preparation. Now we know what data center is and a little bit about Linux history. Next we will talk about Red Hat Linux and versions those are commonly used by companies. Red Hat is very popular and mostly accepted by companies. There are many organizations which has application dependencies, hence are still using older versions of Red Hat. The latest one being RHEL 9. RHEL stands for Red Hat Enterprise Linux. Then we have SUSE Linux, Oracle Linux, and few more. Because Red Hat is widely being used, our focus would be more on discussing Red Hat Linux. We are not directly jumping on latest release, which is RHEL 9. Instead, we will start with RHEL 7. There have been many changes introduced by Red Hat from this version onwards. In Red Hat 7, grep 2 was introduced. Systemd was implemented. XFS came in picture. Firewall D is now your default firewall. Network teaming can also be possible. A cluster software is now Pacemaker. Docker containers are also introduced. These are to name a few. Now let's move forward with the minimum system requirements to run RHEL 7. The basic one is it needs minimum 2 GB of RAM. I would recommend to go with 4 GB. Along with, it needs minimum 6 GB of hard drive space to install the OS. I would recommend go with minimum 20 GB and any 64-bit CPU will work. And last but not the least, network interfaces, either virtual or physical Ethernet cards in order to connect to the host. Now, I do not have a physical server. I am deploying this as a virtual machine using Oracle VirtualBox. It is a free software and you can download it from Oracle easily. Alright, to start with, let's go to Google Chrome and search for Oracle VirtualBox download. The very first link that you get is from Oracle VirtualBox. Click on the link and search for Windows hosts. Once you click on Windows hosts, it will start downloading the latest release. Let it download, and once it is completed, please open the installer. Select all the default options and just click next, next, and finally install. In between, it will ask for missing dependencies as well. Those we need to install. For that, you just say yes twice and then install. Once the installer is finished, it will ask you to open the VirtualBox. After opening, you will see its GUI will look something like this. Okay, the moment we install Oracle VirtualBox, we need to update the network settings first. There, we have to go to Network, Properties, then here in Host Only Networks, we are gonna change the DHCP, which was enabled earlier like this. Now I have changed it to disable and configure the adapter manually. There, this is the IP address that my machine is gonna get. I'm gonna apply it, then see if NAT network is configured. NAT stands for Network Adapter Translation. Now this is for the public communication. Like if we want our virtual machine to have the internet access, then we can enable this. Here also we have enabled DHCP. We can enable this for this particular interfaces, which is fine because we don't have any control over getting the IP address from public domain. So let's apply these settings and create the virtual machine. Okay, as much as I want to show demo on RHEL system, I cannot do it because in order to download RHEL ISO, I need Red Hat subscription, which obviously I personally do not have. Instead, we can download CentOS, which is the open source project for Red Hat. Now, if you wish to download CentOS ISO, you can again go to Google, search for CentOS ISO download, and you will get a very first link to download. There, you'll have to click download. It moves you to this location, search for 8664 architecture. Then you will get to the next page, and here on top of the first 3 links, you can click any link. It is anyway going to get you to the same place. On that first link I'm clicking, this is the ISO that we wish to download, which is of size 4.4 GB. Once you click on that link, it will start downloading. I already have downloaded this, so I'll cancel it. I have kept it on my desktop. Here it is. Okay, now we are good to go with installing our virtual machine. In order to do that, we need to either click on create, or we can also create the virtual machine from clicking machine menu, click on next. Here you can give any name. Select the ISO. Skip unattended installation. Click next. I want to give 4 GB as a memory and 4 CPUs. Click next. Reallocate the space of 20 GB. Click next and finish. Alright, the virtual machine is now created, and what we need to do first is, by default it will select the network as a NAT. We don't want to put this on NAT. We want to put it on host adapter only. So we'll have to click on network, select host only adapter, say OK. As we have attached that ISO to the virtual machine, it is gonna boot from ISO first because there is no OS on that 20 GB. Select I for installation, press enter. Now you see this cursor inside the box. Once you click inside this box, it will capture that one. I'll select the language as India English, continue. To release the cursor, we have to press Ctrl Alt and Delete so that we can get the cursor back inside the normal window. We'll maximize this up. We'll again go inside that small window. So here it is our ISO that we have attached to that virtual machine. Software selection. This is a very crucial part of our installation. Here, we are gonna select the server with GUI. In this one, we'll have all the basic options that we are gonna test or learn through these videos. Okay, for now, we'll just select System Administration Tool, say Done. KDump should be enabled. We'll have to crash the system and then we are gonna learn that one as well. Installation destination. Here, we have to select this 20 GB hard disk, that's the one that we have attached. The tick should be there. Automatically configure the partitions, yes. And then say done. It will verify everything. In the meantime, we'll just set up the network. You have to enable this Ethernet card while it is booting up. Okay, then we configure the interface. We don't want to use it as DHCP. We have to use it as manual. Add. Here we are gonna set the IP address as 192.168.56.2. Okay, 192.168.56.2. Net mask should be 24. Gateway should be the IP address of the virtual NIC that we have created in VirtualBox, which is 192.168.56.1. Now I'll show you where this is coming from. Press Ctrl Delete to release the cursor. Click on Tools. Then you see this host only network, that the one that we have set up. This is the IP address that we are going to use as a gateway. Now if you click on machine again and go to show, this is the IP address of the machine that is here in tools for no host only adapter that we are going to configure it over there. Then say save. We change the host name as CentOS 7. Click on apply. Done. And we are good to begin the installation now. While this is installing our server, we are going to set the root password for that server. So the combination should be capital letter, small letter, plus some numbers and some special characters. Okay, done. User creation. I want to create one test user. I wish to make it as administrator. Again, the similar password. If you click on advanced, you will see what should be the home directory for that user, whether you want to modify the user ID for that user, or if you want to modify the group ID, or if you want that user to be a part of some other group. For now, I don't want to do anything like that. As it is, click on done. And while this is installing, we will download the Putty application so that we can connect to the host once it is online. For that, you have to go to Google and search for Putty download. Click the first link where it is saying that putty.org. Again, the first link. This is the latest release. For now, select this installer for 64-bit Windows. My system is Windows. It will download this installer. Click open. I have already installed it, so it will say that it is already installed. Next. And you see here you will have some other options. So just click next, next and finish. Once you finish it, you will get a Putty application, something like this. This is the application that we are gonna use to connect our virtual machine. Here we are gonna put the IP address for the interface that we have configured, which is 192.168.56.2. The moment I say open, it will open up a new Putty window. For now, it is not gonna open because the system is still under installation. Here you can see that. We'll have to wait for this installation to complete and then we can connect to the host. Now it will just do a connection timeout and you will get a window saying that it cannot connect, the connection timeout. We say okay now and we'll wait for the system to get online. Okay, finally the installation is complete and we are good to reboot the box. The moment it gets rebooted, the ISO will be unmounted automatically. You can see that from the machine, it will get removed and the system will boot. The center. As we have selected the server with GUI, it is starting with GUI. Or else, mostly the servers in the companies will not be booting with GUI. It will only be going to run level 3. End user license agreement. Yes, done. It's connected. Finish configuration. Test user 1. We'll put the password. This is really colorful. In normal days, system admin's life, it is always black and white. Right click on the desktop and click on open terminal. The terminal will come up. What we have to do is we have to do sudo su- to get into roots login. Don't worry about these commands now. We'll explain them later. Now pi/etc sshd_config. This is the configuration file for SSH daemon. Again, we'll explain it later. Search for permit, P capital. We have to come on this hash mark using the arrow key. Press X to remove that hash and read it again. Permit root login, yes. So what we are doing is we are allowing root to log in from SSH. Reload the SSH system ctl reload SSHD. Now the system is booted up. We can connect it using our PuTTY application. What we have to do is open up the application, put the IP address 192.168.56.2, hit enter. Ideally, we should not be logging in using root account, but as this is a learning purpose, I'm just directly using it. Root. The server is completely installed now for further use. That's it for this lecture. Hope you have learned something. Thank you very much for your valuable time and take care. See you in the next one. Bye for now.